Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Amy here. Today we're going to talk about my most disappointing reads in 2021. I'm sipping on the Stella Rosé or Stella Rosa Rosé. I think it's actually called Black. If you saw my Instagram, I took a picture of the bottle. I tried the honey peach, something like that, in last month in December and loved it. My sister-in-law actually gave me the black bottle for Christmas, and it's just as delicious. So we're having a little sippy sip while we talk about my most disappointing books in 2021. I'm sporting a new do. We've parted down the middle. I went to my hairdresser yesterday and I was like, I want something new and fresh, but like I love my color and I don't really want to cut any length off my hair. She's like, well, let's style it a little bit different. Let's part down the middle. She's been wanting to part my hair down the middle, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't feel like, I feel like my nose is too big. I don't feel like my face is for a middle part. But anyway, we did it while I was there at her salon. I loved it. But when I came home and started looking at my hair, I was just like, I don't know if I like it. So today I redid it, tried to recreate what she did yesterday. It's not as good, but it's not bad. It's just, I don't know if it's quite me yet, but we're gonna go with it. Anyway, moving on. So not many books to talk about today. I have 6 books written down that just really, I was expecting more from these authors or from their stories, whatever it may be. And I was just, slightly let down. But it doesn't mean I'm not gonna read them ever again. Some of these are some of my favorite authors, and I've read so much better from them. So anyway, starting it off, Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. I've read like 3 other books by Peter Swanson and really enjoyed them. There is still one book out there that I hear so many good things about. I'm not sure, what is the name of it? The Killing Kind or something like that. I still have not read that book. It might get read sometime this year, but this was his latest release from last year. I think we're getting something new from him this year, so hopefully things will be a little bit better. But anyway, this wasn't terrible. It had great potential. I really enjoyed the writing style, and the story was intriguing, although I felt like, I don't know, once we got to a certain point in the book, it just kind of got thrown off. And I have a feeling he was trying to portray our main character as like a badass chick of some sort, but it didn't really come across that well. So we're following a young woman, Abigail. She is going on her honeymoon, her and her fiance. I don't remember his name. I don't think it says in here, but anyway, her future husband to be. They go on their honeymoon, and it's like a secluded island. Like he didn't tell her anything about where they were going or anything. It was kind of like a surprise. So it was like this secluded island. When they get there, like just weird things are kind of happening around them, or around her, I should say. She gets a sense that like her and this other couple are really like the only people there, other than like just random like men that are around the place, or like workers for the hotel that they're staying in or whatnot. It just seems weird. Yeah, so the ending just really got really weird and thrown off, and it kind of was a little culty, but in a bad way. It just didn't work for me, and I was expecting more from this author. I really kind of enjoyed like the middle part of the book. I gave the book 3 stars because I did enjoy the middle part of the book, and I felt like there was a good twist somewhere in there. But the beginning was rather slow to start, and then the ending was just completely thrown off. So, but anyway, yeah, that's my story. Next is Absolution. This is by Sloane Kennedy. This is the first book in the Protector series. This was a male romance. This was, I think, a little bit more, this was definitely dark and intense, in my opinion. And I wasn't prepared for it. It was good to a certain extent, but I just felt like it was just about it was like just surrounded by too much depression. So we have our three men. We follow Jonas, who is the youngest. And then we have Mace and Cole. Mace is sort of, I guess, like a detective of some sort. He's had some trouble in the past. He was married with a child. Things happened in that marriage that didn't go very well. And then Cole, he's an ex-Navy. So he's got some sort of PTSD happening, and he's also has some like family issues. So all three, and then Jonas was abandoned by his parents basically when they found out he was gay. So all three of our men are very troubled and have very troubled past and are trying to cope and deal with everything in life the best they can. So when they come together, I enjoyed them together, and I think they fit. But I wasn't really gripped into the story. I liked our characters and I liked their relationship. And I liked how it was dark and intense, although I don't think I was expecting that from this book. But yeah, I just couldn't vibe with the whole storyline, and it just didn't really pull me in. I don't feel obligated to like continue on with the story, although I kind of want to, just to see where it goes. Okay, I had to take a bit of a pause. My battery ran out. I don't have a backup battery, so I had to let it charge. In the meantime, I cooked supper. I'm on my second glass of wine. So the camera angle is a little bit different from when I first started filming, but we're gonna move on. So, as I was saying, Absolution. I enjoyed the couples, the three men, their relationship with each other, but just the story wasn't doing it for me. So it was just a disappointment, because Sloane Kennedy is, you know, a great romance author, and I was just hoping for more, I think. So then we have One Last Stop. This is by Casey McQueston. I liked it, and then I didn't like it. I wasn't truly into our couple, which was a female couple. I really wasn't really into them. I just didn't feel the pull. But it's a little bit different of a situation, the type of romance that I wasn't expecting as well. I loved Red, White, and Royal Blue. I don't know what I was hoping for this book, but yeah, I didn't fully get it. The story is a little bit on the unreal side, but you know, it's fiction, whatever. We have like some time traveling involved. We have one of our characters is kind of stuck on a train, and our main character that we're following sort of falls for this woman who is stuck on this train, who is always on this train. And yeah, and her journey is just basically trying to figure out how to get her off this train and into current times. I liked our characters separately. I loved their friends, or one of our characters' friends, and their journey separately, but together I just didn't feel it. I didn't get a good vibe from them, I guess, a romantic vibe. I just wasn't feeling it. And the story was okay, but again, just not as good as Red, White, Royal Blue. Then we have Featherbed. This is the first book in the Venus and Veritas series. I still have not completed that series. I think I'm only like 6 books in or so. But this was the first book. This was by Annabeth Albert. I was mostly disappointed because I know this author can really give us a good story, and I just wasn't into this one. I gave it like I gave it 3.5 stars is what I gave it on Goodreads. I said this was a fun and cute read, but I've read much better by this author. So we're following like a 42-year-old ex-lawyer. This is the opening of the bookstore and wine bar. So Harrison is our owner of the bookstore and wine bar. And he's like, you know, him and his mother are opening up the store in this first book. And we have like a countryside neighbor of some sort that his chicks was delivered accidentally to the store. So that's kind of how they meet. His name is Finn, and him and his family own a farm, you know, right down the road. But I liked the story and the whole flow of the story. I didn't think it was insta-lovey or anything like that. For some reason, the characters, once again, the characters just weren't, they weren't doing it for me in this book. I don't know, but I really enjoyed a lot of the other books in this series. But yeah, Annabeth Albert is a great male romance author. So I've read so many good books by her. My absolute favorite are the, I think it's Men in Uniform series. The first book is Off Base. Really good. I highly recommend that series. But yeah, this one like I said, I liked the story and the storyline. The couple just wasn't, they weren't meshing with me. Out of Uniform is the name of the series, my bad. Men in Uniforms. They're men and they're in uniforms. It's a sort of a military series. The first book is Off Base. It's a great series. I absolutely loved it, and highly recommend it by Annabeth Albert. Then we have Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is difficult because I really appreciated the ending. Like, really appreciated it. Like, compared to the rest of the book, the entirety of the story, the ending really, I was like, oh, I like that. You know, like it was something very different. I've never quite read a twist like that. I did end up giving it 3.5 stars because it bumped up with that ending. So we're following a young woman who I think she's wanting to get home. She's at school, things aren't going right. I think her best friend was murdered. She feels responsible, so she just wants like a refresh. She wants to go home, see her grandmother, and just kind of, you know, refresh, restart. So she's looking for a ride. And she accepts this ride from a stranger. So she posted on like this board. Okay, we're going back to like the early, early 90s. I don't remember, does it say? Yes, 1991, we're taking it back. So not really any cell phones, probably maybe a bag phone if you were lucky, if you had one of those. So yeah, she posted on like this board that she is looking for a ride wherever she's going. And someone responds to it, so she basically gets in this car with a stranger, whom then she starts feeling like is the serial killer that is going around killing everyone. What is he called? The campus killer is what they were calling him. He's killing girls on campus grounds, and her best friend was recently murdered. Could have been the campus killer. Is she in the car with the campus killer? So the entire book, we're like just in her head and her monologuing, going back and forth of whether this guy is dangerous. There's places, I felt like I was watching a scary movie from the early 90s, which is not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. But I was like screaming at the book, like, no, what are you doing? Don't get in the car with him. Yes, go in this place, like call someone, call the cops. I don't know. Don't do what you're doing. She also suffers from hallucinations that are brought on by stress and anxiety. I believe she takes medicine for it, but she was off her medication, so she didn't know what was real and what was real. Yeah, we just kind of keep going back and forth, and for a bit I was kind of getting just annoyed with all the monologue and just with Charlie in general. So it's just one night, and each chapter is like interior of the Grand Dame night. You know, that's how the chapters are listed. And then we have midnight, interior Grand Dame. So I wasn't really feeling the story until we got to the end, and I was like, I appreciate this, Riley Sager. Thank you. So the rest of the book was just okay. I don't know what I was expecting, once again, but I think my expectations were too high, and then I was let down. But again, great ending. One last book, y'all. And I recently talked about this book because I recently read it. It's As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I think I gave it 3 stars. And I said all the things I need to say, and I believe it was my December wrap-up, actually. But yeah, I was just disappointed in our main character, Pip. I was disappointed in her actions, how she went about doing things in this book. I understand she's been through a lot, but I just felt like she could do better. Overall, in general, I was just disappointed in the story and how it played out. It could have been done so much better, and I really, really didn't like the ending. I didn't like it at all. It definitely wasn't what I wanted to happen. So overall, I was just disappointed in the story, and I missed that podcast vibe that we got in the first book. It kind of drifted off a little bit in the second book, and then it was pretty much not even there in this book. So I was kind of disappointed in that. Just all around kind of just disappointed. Disappointed in our character, the story, and the missing of the podcast. But it was still a great series. From the first book is my absolute favorite. The second book was okay. And then we have this book. I don't regret my time reading this series or reading this book. I loved it. Loved the series is what I'm saying. I loved our characters. I highly recommend the series. I mean, you may have your own opinions about the third book, but those are mine, and I was just a little bit disappointed and let down by it, but that's okay. We're gonna move on from there. So that is it, y'all. I feel like this was sort of a chaotic video, so I apologize because it was kind of all over the place. My battery went out in the middle of me talking, and I saw it flashing, but I was hoping I could finish what I was saying, and then that didn't happen. While I'm waiting for my battery to recharge, I cooked dinner. I drank a whole other glass of wine, so I'm on my second glass. My sister-in-law just came over for a little bit, so I'm so sorry. I feel like it's kind of patchy, but it is what it is. That's life. So all in all, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I don't know about my hair. I keep looking at myself in the frame, and I'm just like, I just don't know about this middle part, y'all. I just don't know. I'm sure the next time you see me, I'll have it swooped over like normally. I feel like I need height. I need height up here. But I hope you're all doing well out there. Thank y'all so much for watching this chaotic of a video. Let me know in the comments down below what books you were disappointed in the year of 2021. I'm gonna go eat my dinner. So hugs from me all around, y'all. Cheers, and I will see y'all very soon in another video. Bye, y'all.